Chico, if you're watching this video, you might literally be an ape at making friends like I was. Literally, I sucked at making friends. I couldn't even talk to people. I would be anxious and scared. I couldn't even initiate a single conversation. And I remember being on the bus for cadets. It was one of those general training camps for the summer. And I was stuck on this sweaty bus where the sergeants told us, you got to get to know the person sitting beside you, okay? And they'll quiz us when we reach the destination. I ended up sitting beside some girl, and I kid you not, I said completely nothing the entire bus ride. Not a single word or sound came out of my mouth. Look, I didn't even look at her probably. And once we got off the bus, the sergeants gathered us up and asked us, hey, like, what did you learn about your bus friend? And when it got to my turn, I had nothing to say. And I felt like a complete freaking loser. I felt judged. Like, I can't even do anything right. I can't even talk to another human being. Like, I just felt so anxious and scared. I just couldn't do it. And I'll never forget the feeling of just being a complete idiot in front of everybody. Just because I didn't know how to talk and I didn't know how to make friends. When I finally reached high school, I had no friends. I mean, I knew a few people in my class, right? We talk about League of Legends, Inting, Yasuo Keyblades, One Trick Pony, and Zed. And I knew some people at the skate park, but they weren't deep, meaningful friendships, you know? Like, I'm not saying they were useless. I was really grateful for them. I still am. And they were fun people to hang out with. But I was someone who was looking for deeper friendships. And I just didn't know how to go about getting those. Everyone seemed so intimidating. I still remember one of my friends, this super jacked guy, he's wearing like the tightest white t-shirt ever. He just looks so cool, right? And then I'm just there. I'm that shy, introverted kid at the back of the room munching on goldfish. I didn't talk to anyone unless I was talking crap and making fun of the teachers. So hopefully you get a picture of who I was in the past, because now I can talk to anybody, all right? I can go and just hang out with strangers if I wanted to, all right? And that is because I found that making friends and communicating is a skill that can be learned and developed, all right? So I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide to make friends so that you don't have to make a fool of yourself and end up eating lunch alone at school. If you are a freaking doofus like I was and just suck at making friends, yo, don't worry. Just get out a notebook. You are going to fill that thing in page after page after page, because I'm dropping banger after banger, gem after gem in this one, okay? If I had all this knowledge when I was younger, like, sheesh, bro. I would literally rip my shirt open. So this will literally change your entire life. Let's get started. To begin, there's two core principles that we have to go over. Number one is that you got to be strategic and intentional. It's hard to make any friends if you never initiate or make an effort. For someone like me, dude, I look like a freaking loser, so no one's going to come up and talk to me, all right? I have to take the lead, get up, drag my heavy feet, and go talk to Lil Chubb in the corner. Number two is that you got to be patient and gracious. It takes time to make friends and develop relationships. It's not overnight. Just like how it takes weeks to upgrade your mortar in Clash of Clans, it takes weeks to upgrade your friendships. Just keep showing up and don't give up. Some people are more reciprocating than others. Now that we got those core principles out of the way, we're going to talk about how to make Christian friends. Later on, we'll talk about how to make non-Christian friends. But right now, Christian friends, all right? First step is that you're going to join a fellowship, a youth group, a young adults group, church, whatever it is. Just find a Christian community and just commit there. When you actually attend that first session, talk to everybody, get to know a bit about everybody, and then you'll naturally gravitate towards some people more than others. You got to remember to always initiate, say hi first, ask to hang out, share vulnerably with them. Sharing first and being transparent is like a quick hack, all right? Some people just don't want to say anything. They're not going to share at all. But if you go first and share vulnerably, then you're going to break down the walls. You're going to break down the mask that people are holding up. And people are going to be like, wow, like, dude, I relate. So be the first to share vulnerably, and it allows you to make connections within the group. And that's how you're going to start building those friendships. Now let's talk about how to make non-Christian friends. All you have to do is join a group that does your favorite hobby. Maybe it's like your favorite sport or crafts, cooking, graffitiing, whatever it is. You're going to join and you're going to get good at what you do. You will gain their respect and friendship just from that alone. When I was skateboarding, I perfected my kickflips and my tray flips. I had never met anyone in real life that had higher pop or tweak on their kickflips, and so wherever I went, if I was just doing a kickflip, it just started conversations. People just came up to me like, yo, how do you do that? Like, give me some tips. And so being good at what you do creates instant connections. It opens doors. People will want to talk with you. Just don't be prideful or be a stuck-up little freak. Stay humble or get humbled. In these social groups, you have to be above reproach. You gotta be in the world, but not of it. You can't be swearing or gossiping or vaping or talking negatively like everybody else. As Christians, you should be compelled by the love of Christ. The fruit of the Spirit should exude from you. People should notice a difference. So be kind in a world where kindness is seen as old-fashioned. And lastly, as Christians, evangelism is the natural unspoken mission when we're in these social spaces. Just don't force it. Don't be an annoying fruit fly about it, alright? You gotta be smooth with your evangelism. You gotta sprinkle your words with grace and be confident in your faith. Alright, now I'm going to talk about the rules for making friends. These are things that you can do. Doesn't matter if they're Christian or non-Christian. These are the things you have to do. Number one is that you got to be excited when you see them. Literally just get hyped up. Dap them up and just scream. Like, I was a robot about this at first because I wasn't actually excited to see them. But over time, when I kept practicing this, now I'm like, I genuinely am excited when I see my friends. And so you got to do this. Show that you care by the expression, the energy that you show. Number two is to say their name and remember it. All right. In the conversation, once you hear their name, oh, my name is Robert, then you're going to say Robert during your conversation. Hey, Robert, what do you feel about that? Or, oh, Robert, you want to go out to this thing? Like, say their name in the conversation so you don't forget it. Once that conversation is done, get out your phone, go to the notes and write down their name. All right. For people like us, we're kind of stupid and we have to go the extra mile, do these extra things that nobody else has to do. I literally had a notepad with 20 different names, little notes for each person, so I would remember them. Because the worst thing that you can do is to go up to them next time you see them, like, oh, I forgot your name. What is it again? Like, that's the worst thing you can do. Like, you gotta remember their name and say it. The third rule is to get to know their interests. I still remember at my fellowship, there was a couple girls that I was trying to integrate into the fellowship. They just weren't connecting well. And so I sat down and I learned about what they liked. And one of the things they liked was Taylor Swift. And so I'm not a Swiftie, all right? But I was like, okay, I want to get to know these people. I want them to be integrated and feel loved in our Christian community. So what I do, I went back home and I listened to Taylor Swift. I listened to all the songs, bro. And so when we came back the next week, I was able to talk to them about Taylor Swift. I was like, oh, I remember that song Cardigan or like Cruel Summer or whatever. So find out what they're interested in and then research about it. Take the time out of your day and like learn about those things. And then you can come back and bring it up in conversation. That's how you build relationships. What this also does is to get you to ask more questions so you don't have to talk as much. Because if you're stupid like me, bro, you won't know what to say. So just let them talk. The fourth rule is something that not a lot of people do, but it gets you to go above and beyond and make you stand out. It's to follow up and check in. If they said something like, oh, I have a test next week or I have an interview, check in on that day that they said that they would do it. So Tuesday, you're going to message them, hey, how's that test? How'd it go? Or if you haven't seen them in a while, just check in, message them, be like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? These small DMs show that you care, that you're invested, and that you're thinking about them. The last thing I'm going to say is less of a rule and more of a tip, but when you want to do a group hangout and you're sending messages to the chat, before you send a message to the chat, you're going to ask a few people that you know would say yes to your hangout. You're going to be like, okay, I know Josh and Jeff are going to say yes. I'm going to DM those guys. I'm going to tell them what's happening. They're going to say yes. And then you enter the group chat and be like, hey, some of us are going to X. Would anyone else want to join us? That's so much better than going in blind, asking this group chat and being like, hey, does anybody want to do X with me? Like, they might not care to go out with you, but they might want to go out with Josh and hang out with Josh. So invite those couple other people, and then when you say, hey, a few of us are going to this thing, like, anybody else want to join, then more people are inclined to go. For the next part of this guide, I want to make a clear point that there are different types of friends. You got to clarify what type of friend you're looking for, because there's not one that's better than any other. They just have different purposes, all right? Like, you'll have ones that you just have deep convos with. You're like iron sharpening iron with them. And then others, where you just live life together. You see them for school, you see them for class, you see them for sports. Other friends you simply just go and hang out with. You just have fun. Maybe you're eating, you're just hanging out in the city, and other friends are purely work associates. So don't be too critical or judgmental about your friends. There's different types of friendships, and you should be grateful to God for each type. If you were like me, then any friend at all is a blessing, because some of us, we grew up with no friends. Now there's one last thing to talk about, possibly the most important thing in this video. So we're ending it off with this, all right? What is friendship without love? And what is love? Definitely not those Michael Heron memes. If you look in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 to 8, I actually have this posted on my wall for the past couple of years because it's so strong. But it says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. After you finish this video, hop off the toilet and start making friends. You can't expect anything in return. Love is not self-seeking. If you're going about doing certain things because you just want something back, that's not love. If you remember, one of my core principles is to be intentional, but that doesn't mean you're only trying to find people so that you can get value, that you can take something from them. What I mean by intentional is that you're the one reaching out to them, that you're initiating, that you're saying hi, that you're being nice first, right? But don't be intentional in the sense of being robotic, that you're only looking for people that you can make them your friend. Because friendships are mutual. You have to love them and don't expect anything in return. And so no matter how you're treated, you gotta love and just be there for everybody. And maybe down the line, you'll learn how to invest into the select core few. As you become more like Christ, reflecting and meditating on 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 to 8, your character and virtues will become in line with the fruit of the Spirit. And then eventually, you can move in social situations in a way that is pleasing to God and giving you the ability to connect to those who need it, being a light in a dark world. Because really, it's not so much about making friends, but about being a friend to others. My uncle once told me before he died, with great power comes great responsibility. And so now that you have the knowledge of how to make friends, you now have a responsibility to use it for good, for God's kingdom. Don't make friends to manipulate and get what you want. Make friends and show love in a sacrificial and servant-like way. Show them through your words and actions that there is a God that offers so much more than the friendships of this world, a deeper and more intimate connection through the blood of Christ that we can not only experience in eternity, but here on earth right now. And so when we're making friends, Christian or non-Christian, let's invite them into that love and community that goes beyond this physical world, beyond physical bonds, bringing heaven on earth and inviting others into the family of God. Imagine if we got the entire global church to learn how to make friends in a Christ-like and loving way. We would transform our communities and bring revival to this generation. And this is what we plan to do here at Barak Project. We are creating a movement, and you are invited to play a vital role in God's mission. Join the Remnant, our growing community on Discord, and sign up for my mailing list to receive my bi-monthly prayer letters. I would also love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. But that's it from me today. Just remember, if anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. So please, kill the flesh.
Showing up uninvited. Phone up, girl, I need to go